BBC were ambitious. They always wanted the show to be bigger. They just believed in Doctor Who. It's an old, fantastic tradition. The BBC had plans to supersize it. And here we are. I absolutely agreed with everything they were planning.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
There isn't an official Bible, and a lot of it's in my head. I do know the entire television history, so there's a lot of flexibility. But yes, I do have a list of not a list of rules. The timelines got mixed up, and I'm a little bit more diligent.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
Their lead actor needs to be limitless. I want someone who's good at everything and describe, and we've absolutely got that with shooting. It needs to feel very safe for a young audience to come and watch it. There's a kind of childlikeness to the Doctor that fits children.
RTD, you're lying to me. Every word you say is laced with tons of gay. You gotta keep lying, cause the show is dying. Protect the BBC.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Every single person of, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
Victimizers beware. The racist and bigots' greatest nightmare. Social justice warriors. Get triggered. It's the bias response team. If you've been offended, your feelings must be defended. Freedom of expression is a microaggression. Here comes Angela Freddy. He's always ready to fight fascism with fascism. Starbucks windows don't stand a chance. Ethic enhancer. He's a systematic racism finder. Using the powers of screaming and shame, they win every debate by calling your name. They're heroes who think that they're victims. Social justice warriors.
He's a smee.
He's a smee.
He's a smee. He's a smig. Hey.
Engines roar through the ash-gray skies. The wasteland burns, but hope won't die. Every screen's a twisted lie, built to break us, make us comply. They poison the heroes, rewrite the tales, turn legends to dust, leave us frail. But we're not done, we won't bow down. Through the wreckage, we'll take the crown. Steel hearts ignite, fire in our veins. Freedom's calling, breaking the chains. They can't erase what we already know. HyperDrive now,
Oh, yeah, here we go again. Back to the normal time, everybody. And wow, am I out of focus? How the hell did that happen? What channel do you think this is? Smash JT? All right, there we go. Ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between. Welcome once again to another voyage of discovery, racing through the further reaches, the wastes of the internet, out to the limits of your own sanity on another never-ending quest to rid the universe of absolute bollocks. That's right, baby. Just barely got away with it. Before we set off, please ensure that you have your brains inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs firmly screwed to the screen. Now, let's see. Let's get in here. Let's huddle up and see who we got in the chat already. Let's do it. Take a knee if you need to. We are here, and it's time. All right, Derek Smith is here, but Derek Smith has been here for about 4.5 years already, waiting for this episode. This episode has been a little bit cursed. I originally had intended it to go up a couple of days ago, but then a lot of stuff got in the way. So this comment's fair. It's pretty damn fair. Says I pre-liked the stream. Feels like I pre-liked the stream 2 days ago. Oh, wait, I did. Yes, you did. I actually remember seeing that before having to move the show. So sorry about that, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes things go against how you want them to. And of course, it is Divining Dragon here with happy, non-denominational, non-judgmental, and non-pious, non-zealous blessings for everybody. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it, actually. It doesn't seem like the sort of thing I would say I appreciate, but I actually do appreciate it. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody. And there we go. It's quiet today. What's going on? I don't know. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to have a look at a few things that have been going on because it's just meltdown o'clock at the moment. And that's without all the infighting that's going on. I'm not touching all that shit with the 10-foot pole. Everybody's at each other's throats these days. And I'm getting fucking tired of it. Everybody seems to have a bloody vendetta against everybody else. And we're all supposed to be on the bloody same side. So I can't be bothered with all that. Instead, what we're going to do is what we always do, which is call out the bullshit that's going on in our media, in our entertainment, the lies, the cringe, the hypocrisy, the woke, basically, because that is still the primary antagonist of this saga that refuses to end. Yes, Nintendo's pricing is absolutely appalling. It really is. I don't give a shit if you want to try and rationalize it one way or another. There was a hilarious thing that happened with the Nintendo Treehouse video that I spotted. Oh, God. It was not long after we finished WTF Live, most recently. There was a Nintendo Treehouse live action, playing the games, playing the Switch 2, showing everybody what is to come. And the chat of 80,000 watchers. You don't get this very often, but when you do, man, it was cool. It was cool. Everyone in the chat was just spamming drop the price in all caps for the entire duration. It was magnificent. Gamers are pissed. Gamers they feel like they're being ripped off, and that is absolutely fair. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, and that's how you should feel, because you are being ripped off. We've also got some Doctor Who cringe. We've got some stuff I haven't talked about it yet because I've been busy with all the other amazing, crazy things that have been going on. But we got a Zelda movie. Yeah, my potentially worst fear has come to pass. Well, I don't know. It's either a Zelda movie or a Back to the Future remake. So, fortunately, only one has come to pass so far. We got to go back down the sweet baby ink rabbit hole because I didn't get anywhere near enough time to talk about that yesterday. We have got some Naughty Dog cringe, some more Nintendo cringe, and just general felting of everybody involved. So, you know what to do. You know how it goes. By now, certainly. If you are enjoying yourself,
Like the stream.
it helps to pick up some more lost souls along the way, and that is only beneficial to you, me, and them. So do hit the like button if you are enjoying the stream, and if you want your in-flight entertainment, can be found by clicking the join button and joining the Grift Force. It helps keep the ship in the skies, and I'll be very appreciative. And if you have any questions, comments, or you just get sick of it all and you need to pull over for a couple of minutes, then just tip the driver. There you go. All right. With all of that said, it is time for us to get into our first topic of the day, which, of course, is Doctor Who, because I know you guys know one of the last channels that still bothers to cover this, and I'll cover it until the day it is finally allowed to rest in peace, because this is a corpse. This is a dead show. This is a show that has been dead for 7, 8 years at this point. 7 years. Let's be fair. That was probably the kill shot, was the Jodie run. It's been dead for 7 years, and yet, for whatever reason, no one at the BBC, no one involved in the show, RTD, Moffat, fucking Chibnall, fucking everybody involved, they just will not stop desecrating the corpse. The corpse is rightfully ours. We want it back so we can bury it and begin to mourn. But no, they're going to make us go through all the motions as this show kicks and screams its way finally into oblivion. And one of the people who has emerged recently, seeming to want to punch her ticket to Rachel Zegler levels of fan hatred, is Varada Setu, the companion, the icing on the we don't like white people cake. And, well, let's just see what this stupid fucking bint has got to say. She says, Doctor Who is used to being put on a pedestal. That's where his latest companion comes in. This one's from the Hollywood Reporter. Why the hell they're even talking about Doctor Who, I have no idea. Because, frankly, they really don't want to allow this to die. I don't know why Hollywood is so tied up in this. Disney, at this point, needs to take the L. They just need to take the right off. We've already seen that Disney really doesn't care that much about Doctor Who. They snubbed a Doctor Who conference that happened in LA, like right outside their freaking doors. They didn't even show up. They weren't there to support it. They don't really care. They only care about Bluey, and the BBC has the rights to it. But here we are anyway. Varada Sethu, who herself sounds like a villain from the show, playing Shooty Gatwas. I'm not going to say doctor. Fucking hell. His next partner, I think you mean companion, in the long-running series, talks to the Hollywood Reporter about becoming a companion and what fans can expect from Belinda Chandra. She's very much an equal in this. Okay, dear. Whatever you say, she's an equal. She's an equal to a borderline immortal, ageless, God knows how old now the canon recommends that you assume he is, old Time Lord with an infinite knowledge of time, space, the universe. You know, a guy who's been to wars you can't even comprehend and finished them. It's just unbelievable that they've as a human, I think it's important, you know, that we see my character as absolutely an equal to the immortal Time Lord. All right, whatever you say, you dumb bitch. Let's get into it. Doctor Who newcomer. This is the part that, oh, fucking hell, what the hell is this website doing? This is the part that always really winds me up. Newcomer. You're a newcomer to the show, right? And this happens every fucking time there's a newcomer to the show. They always got to throw it under the bus. Like, who? It's not your ex-boyfriend, all right? You don't have to do that. Like, you're not welcoming a new lover and going, oh, that guy was an asshole. It's a show that you have been invited to join. Okay? You are being paid, presumably quite handsomely, for your time in this role. Why do you think it is in any way the right attitude to throw it under the fucking bus to try and float yourself? I'm serious. This is the Rachel Zegler School of Public Relations. What did she do? She gets the role of Snow White, role of a lifetime for her. What does she do? Well, the film came out in 1937 and very evidently so. Oh, the prince is a stalker. Weird. It's just, what enough? Yeah, I've got enough mods, right? It's pretty much only mods watching at the moment. It's early days. It's one of those things. But this is the way that it goes in Hollywood these days. It's like, okay, so you are so full of the smoke that has been blown up your ass by the media, the machine, and all that stuff, that you now see yourself as the savior of the institution that has existed since decades before you were born. But it's okay because you're the guy. You're the one who is here to save it. Okay. All right. I don't know. This is what happens when you tell every kid they're special. No one is special, all right? You're only as special as your work makes you. That's reality. Okay, darling? So she's well adjusted to the franchise life. This franchise is dead. What are you fucking talking about? God damn it. Hold on a sec. Sorry, folks. I'm going to have to pop some pills during this because I'm still just recovering from the lurgy that's been bugging me for a few days now. The British Indian actress who has featured in the likes of Andor and Jurassic World Dominion. Oh, A-list royalty right there. Fucking hell. A failed Star Wars show that doesn't really... No, it wasn't excessive. I guess you guys are just dominating the chat. A failed Star Wars show that is apparently very good, but I wouldn't know because, like most people, I didn't watch it because fuck Star Wars. Fuck Disney Star Wars. And Jurassic World Dominion, something that is turning a classic movie and apparently fantastic books into a 7-Eleven cup selling franchise. Congrats. Well done. I guess you are adapted to the franchise life. Steps into the shoes of Ncuti Gatwa's next companion in season 15. Oh, will you kill? Hollywood Reporter. Seriously, what are you doing? I can't click on the fucking text because it scrolls all the way up to the top. All right, fine. She's used to the fervid fan bases, the 32-year-old tells the Hollywood Reporter. But I try not to take pressure on. Oh, how modern. I had a Zoom with Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy, and he said, I don't want you thinking about this as a Star Wars show. It just happens to be set in the same universe. No. You should absolutely be thinking of it as a Star Wars show. The only reason that you're interested in the first place is because it's a Star Wars show. Otherwise, it would just be another pilot. Same as anything else. You inherit the fucking legacy of the thing that you are in. That needs to be taken seriously. Sorry, Ron. I'm just... This stuff, it winds me up. Because I think to myself, like, what would I do if I were, like, invited to work on X franchise? What would I do if I were invited to edit or act in or write or direct episodes of some long-running legacy franchise with an incredibly serious and devout fan base? Like, I would be on eggshells. I'd be trying to punch above my weight class. I'd be on my absolute A game to try and show respect to the thing that I'm lucky enough to have joined. But she's so up her own ass. I think it's applicable. Oh, fuck, I'm doing it again. It's force of habit. Sorry, folks. I think it's applicable to Doctor Who. She continues unveiling a handy metaphor for staying down to earth, at least while shooting. He said actors get a bit of altitude sickness. Suddenly it becomes not play, but zaps your creative juices. That really stuck with me, and I think I took that with me when I went on to Doctor Who. I'm just here. I'm this person in this cafe talking to this character. But when we've wrapped, I look back on it and I think, oh my God, I scaled that big mountain. Now, apologies. That is in some ways, a healthy attitude to undertaking what you perceive to be an insurmountable task, one step at a time. I think everyone can more or less agree with that. But if that was all she was going to say, we wouldn't have the headline. So we're going to get to this. Returning to the BBC and Disney Plus on April 12th. Yeah, that's right. We're only a week away, a little bit more than a week now, until we finally get the last series of Doctor Who. Russell T Davis's next installment, also referred to as Season 2 for Gatwa's Doctor. Okay, cancelled after 2 seasons then. That's what you want to go with? Excuse me. Follows the titular Time Lord and nurse Belinda Chandra as they embark on a quest to get Belinda back to Earth. Something that should be entirely possible for the Doctor in a matter of seconds. With Millie Gibson expected to appear again, well, I mean, expected. She's in the trailer. We've known this since there was all that fuckery a year ago, more than a year ago, actually. I was still in another place at that point. When they said, no, Ruby Sunday's not going anywhere. Millie Gibson's not leaving the show. She's not leaving the show. She's not being replaced. And then we started to get rumblings of Belinda Chandra, of Varada Sethu, of the Vashta Narada herself. And then it was, oh, Millie is actually leaving. Oh, no, but she's not really leaving. Oh, she's actually just going to be in like 2 or 3 episodes, you know, because she didn't want to be part of it, I guess. I mean, what is the most logical reason why Ruby would be leaving, why Millie Gibson would be leaving? Probably because she's young, she's hot. She doesn't need to be part of this. It's dying and she won't go down with it. But Varada Sethu will. To appear as Ruby on Sunday. That's definitely a typo. She gets wrapped up in his world and she doesn't want any of it. Sethu teases about Belinda's arc. She wants to go back to her life. Well, it better be some fucking life then, dear. She's not afraid to stand up to the Doctor. Well, to be fair, he's not exactly very imposing there in his skirt, is he? No, not remotely. No. She's very quick at reading him and sees right through all the smoke and mirrors. What smoke and mirrors? What does the Doctor do that's smoke and mirrors? It's like, I'm going to take you to the year 50,000 and we're going to walk out into a war zone between Daleks and Cybermen. Okay. And so, pull the lever, literally go to that time, that place, walk out, literally there you are. Assuming the TARDIS doesn't fuck with him. Yeah, here you go. Alien warfare. What's smoke and mirrors? He does exactly what he says he's going to do. The usual Doctor anyway, the actual Doctor, not this fucking version of him who's too busy flouncing around in nightclubs and chasing strange alien sausage. She's not charmed by him, or she thinks he's charming but wants to go home. Who cares? The Doctor's not supposed to be charming first and competent later. All right? That's not how the show was built. The Star says, this dynamic between the two will feel refreshing. Oh, I've done it again. Fuck my life. Will feel refreshing for long-time Doctor Who fans. I'm sorry, but whenever they say something is going to be refreshing for long-time fans of a franchise, that means we fucked with it. That means we stuck a load of DEI nonsense in it. That means we are undermining the thing you liked. We are subverting your expectations. You might as well be writing about The Last Jedi. You know? Oh, The Last Jedi will feel refreshing for long-time Star Wars fans. No, it didn't. It felt cancerous and rotten. She says, Belinda holds him accountable. She calls him out when his etiquette slips. He's this alien who's lived for so long, and a lot of it's spent experiencing loss and also living alone. And I think he's used to people putting him on a pedestal. I mean, he is. I mean, not necessarily Gatwa, but the Doctor is pretty worthy of being put on a pedestal. Okay, intergalactic, timeless war hero, savior of 1 billion planets, enemy to all the greatest evils in the universe, who just mooches around by himself and always ends up alone. And instead of actually sympathizing with that, which is what RTD did in his original run, that much of it was about the feeling that the Doctor actually, his life isn't actually that great. And some people criticized it for that, and I personally really enjoyed it, but it was a change of pace then. Now we're in the postmodern era, so it's all that stuff that RTD used to deal with in earnest, except at every moment now you are supposed to view it as a bad thing. This guy, he thinks way too much of himself with his miserable life and his timeless power and you know, I think he needs bringing down a peg. Says this character who, as far as we know, is just a regular human being. Like you should be pretty much in reverence of the guy who picks you up and promises to take you home. Although, to be fair, doesn't seem like he's in that much of a hurry to. Oh, well. Now, she says she sees him as a friend. She sees him as a partner in getting through this. And it's just a much more balanced and healthy relationship that they have. One where she's the girl boss and he's the pathetic fop. That's what they call balanced these days, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they call balanced. It didn't take long for Gatwa and Sethu to build up an off-camera rapport. Well, I mean, it's not very hard for them, is it? All they have to do is sit around and talk about how much they fucking hate white people, British people, and Britain. Which you can guarantee is a conversation that happened. Capable of translating on screen. He's a joy to work with, she tells THR. It's been one of my favorite jobs in my life. I mean, you shouldn't really be whatever. I think that comes across on screen. Belinda and the Doctor develop a really deep love and friendship and trust in 13 episodes. Yeah. Okay. And that's something, and they have to form a team. I mean, it sounds like basically on paper, the way they advertised Martha Jones, the way that they were planning to do that, where she's like, oh no, it was more Donna Noble, let's be fair, because Martha Jones did have a fucking huge crush on the Doctor. And he shot her down because he was getting over Rose. Whereas Donna Noble's like, I'm not remotely attracted to this guy. He's a bit of a wally. And it worked then. But now, unfortunately, we've been trained to see it as girl bossing. Donna Noble wasn't a girl boss because she was a deeply flawed character herself, who ultimately ended up having the keys to the fate of everything. And, you know, constantly reminds herself and the audience that she's just a temp from Chiswick, you know? So it keeps her grounded. It keeps her endearing. I hope they have something like this for Belinda Chandra, but I have a fucking feeling that they're not going to go that way. It's just going to be, who the hell do you think you are? I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm several thousand years old. You know, I know what I'm doing here. Shut the fuck up and stay in your lane, bitch. No, it's not going to be like that, is it? It's going to be, oh, sorry, dear. Oh, I didn't mean to step on your grace. Oh, my God. She says, that's something quite different about her as a companion compared to previous ones. Well, then why am I able to reference previous ones? Why, without seeing a second of you as a companion, do I feel like I've seen this before and done better? She's very much an equal in this. Shooty is such a special person. Yeah, Shooty Gatwa is such a special person. He's such a special person, guys. He's so special that he was able to almost single-handedly destroy the fandom of a show that had lurched on and survived the Jodie Whittaker era. But he was able to ensure that you know just how horrible you are as an audience member and go touch grass, which we did. I really can't wait for this. I just want it to be done. I really just need this to be done. Needed to be it. Like, please, for the love of fucking God. You've seen a recent interview with RTD where he's like, no one actually knows what's going to happen next. And someone's asking him directly, like, do you know what happens after series 2? He's like, no, nothing. No one knows. Absolutely nothing. And of course, that's absolutely normal. No, that's not absolutely normal. Okay. Was anybody asking if Game of Thrones would get another series until series 8? No, of course not. Hell, was anybody asking if Lost would get another series when that was on TV? Even though that went crazy and kind of off the rails, but actually tied back together quite nicely at the end. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. Watch it again. I just watched it recently. Pretty good, actually. And we are being raided. The bigot army is here. That is, by the way, the name of the army that I am playing in Suikoden 2. If you want to help me fill up that bar, then you will get some more Suikoden over the weekend. More and more and more and more. I will try to repent, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not that good at repenting because I'm so freaking flawless, but there it is. Anyway, here we go. And yeah, so this bitch is doing the typical new star, new actress coming to an established franchise and throwing it under the fucking bus. She wants badly to be Rachel Zegler, it seems, which is not remotely a good idea. You do not want to do this. If you get a new job and you are welcomed into something that people fucking love, that people have spent decades loving, enjoying, and embracing with their fandom, the last thing you want to do is begin your PR campaign by throwing it under the damn bus. And yes, we're being raided by Hypnotic. Shout out to Hypnotic. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. We're doing a bit of Doctor Who. We're going to move on to Nintendo in just a few moments. But, I had to get over this because it's that same old shit again. Well, the main character of the Doctor is actually kind of a useless wanker, and I'm here to save the show. Good. Yeah. All right. Enjoy being part of the last series of Doctor Who, because that's it. That's what it's going to be. There's no way this comes back from this. There is no way that this bounces back. Bigot Army Raid is well in effect, guys. Thank you for coming. That's where everybody was. All right. And I'll try to keep you busy for the next hour and a half or so. So thank you for stopping by. But yeah, she's throwing the whole franchise under the bus. She's floating Shooty as amazing person. She's not actually complimented the show at all yet. Coming on board as a companion was her first straight offer of her career. It helped that she appeared in a season 14 episode as Mundy Flynn in the episode Boom. My response to my agent at the time was, I've been in it already, right? Yeah, well, they do that a lot, unfortunately. Had the meeting with Russell and producer Jane Tranter, sack. Russell T. Davis, sack. Jane Tranter, sack. Phil Collinson, sack. Julie Gardner. Fucking fire all these hacks. And cancel the show for 10 years minimum. And Russell was telling me the whole plot for the season. Septa was under the impression the meeting was an audition, and it wasn't until Davis was revealing the detailed twists and turns of the season that it dawned on her. I couldn't believe it. I was completely over the moon. Oh, so she didn't actually have to audition for the role. She was just brown enough to get it handed to her on a piece of paper. No problem. Here you go. Here's your diversity role in Doctor Who, madam. Here's your silver platter. Please come and grace us with your bountiful presence and save us all from the mediocrity of the show. Yeah, great. Wonderful. It's not going to happen. No one's going to give a shit. I mean, at least with the last series, you had Millie Gibson, who's got quite the rack. Now what have you got? You got this spiteful, annoying, big-nosed, pain-in-the-ass bitch who's throwing the show under the bus like fucking Rachel Zegler. So there you go. Davis is the perfect showrunner for Sethu, she adds. No, he is the destroyer. He is the blight demon that has fucked the show. He's come back from fucking up other shows to act foppishly and over the top and show everybody that he doesn't actually give a fuck about Doctor Who anymore. It's like we saw in the interview. They're like, well, so what happens next? Oh, there's not going to be another series. We don't know if there's going to be another series. Like always, it's perfectly normal for a show to bail its entire payload before ever announcing whether another episode will come. Reminder, there is no Christmas special announced this year. And if you were going to do one, you have to be in at least post-production by now. Not even greenlit. The show is not coming back next year. Okay? Not happening. It is too late to write a series of TV for next year. This series was recorded a year ago. It was wrapped production a year ago. That's what we're dealing with. Sometimes shows can... Oh, fucking goddamn Hollywood Reporter, man. I'm fucking tired of this website. I'm going to wrap it up in a sec. Sometimes shows can be a bit hierarchical where the showrunner is someone you have to go through a few people to get to, but Davis is so knowledgeable, so supportive, so involved. Certainly at the beginning of filming, when I was feeling really wobbly and sometimes quite overwhelmed with being a companion, he would text me to reassure me, I've just watched the rushes. You're doing a brilliant job. You can call me anytime. The door was always open. That's surprising, actually, because, you know, I would have thought that he wasn't that interested in her, what with him being kind of in love with Ncuti Gatwa. She says she was more of a Star Wars girl at school. Well, it is Doctor Who. It's never going to compete with that, is it? Such a joy for it to come back into my life in such a different way. Fucking hell. Is that it? But yeah, there you go. So basically, she's saying the show's on a pedestal. The Doctor and the companion are now equals. There will be no reverence, no deference to the, you know, immortal, thousands and thousands of years old Time Lord. There'll be no respect to the lore, the franchise, the canon, or anything along those lines. Justin Davis for $2 says Dr. Hoochie. I like it. Dr. fucking Hoochie. Yeah. I'm not remotely interested in watching it. I wouldn't watch this with your eyes if I weren't pledged to review every last damn episode of this show until it finally dies. Please don't watch this show. Okay, please don't watch this show. Not for, you know, some point to be made. I think that point has already been made. Just if you don't watch it, there's a more likely a chance that they'll never bring it back, and I'll never have to watch it again. So thank you. As a favor to me, just don't. Just ignore it, please. Let me review it, and then we can all move on with our lives and get back to more important things. Because damn, this show needs to die. Thank you very much, Justin. Yeah. All right, there you go. That'll do for this then. But there are lots of other things that I am deeply, deeply concerned about. Like, for example, the Legend of Zelda movie that has been announced. Now, if you know anything about me, you probably know that my favorite movie is Back to the Future. My favorite video game franchise is The Legend of Zelda. I would be incredibly, incredibly pessimistic if Back to the Future 4 were announced. And I am incredibly pessimistic about a Legend of Zelda movie. Incredibly. I mean, you literally have a character who, at least canonically, has never actually said a word in the games. A character who is literally just there to be your link to the game world. Allegedly, that's the name origin anyway. Raging D-Head member for 4 months now says I'll read manga instead. Yeah. Damn right. Absolutely. I wish I had a good hookup for manga here. There's a decent bookshop that sells manga in the Philippines, but they don't have anywhere near extensive enough a library. You have to order it online. It's kind of hard to even do that. But I fully expect that as and when I have disposable income again, you know, in like 20 years when the kids are grown, I'll get back to it. But for now, I still have plenty to read. And that is a solid idea. Thanks for the membership. And Eris Rhoda for £2, legit currency, says, love Thursdays, usually the one day I can get to hyperdrive time. Yeah, well, I appreciate you being here for that, man. It's always a pleasure. And I know you feel bad when you can't make it, but you know, we all have lives and I understand that. But thanks for being here. Yeah. Is Link gender fluid? Oh, fuck, I hope not. I don't have much of a sense of humor about these things. I can be very sarcastic if I wanted to. Yeah, sure. Let's have an actual pink-haired Link running around schooling people on their fucking pronouns. Let's bury the entire Nintendo cinematic universe so quickly that it basically classifies as abortion. No. So this is what they're doing. They are, in fact, doing a live-action Zelda movie, which is apparently going to share a universe with the CGI Mario movie. Okay. And will film in New Zealand like Lord of the Rings. So, I mean, I guess for that, you're supposed to sort of go, well, I suppose they are trying to take it seriously. And where would you get a better version of Hyrule than New Zealand? That's where Middle Earth is. Ha ha ha. No, I hope they're right. I hope it's good faith. I hope it is. But you just told me there's a Legend of Zelda movie. I just don't see how you can do this. How are you going to cast Link? They're like, even more than the characters in the books of Lord of the Rings, there are people who have a very, very specific idea of what Link looks like, how he maneuvers, how he sounds, the way he would act, because they're more or less all the same. I think the only real deviations from standard Link would be Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, where Wind Waker, he's a kid and the game is much more tongue-in-cheek, and in Twilight Princess he's much more active and involved in the storyline as opposed to just sort of being there and being your avatar. Kay Prescott, Gannett Queen. Wow, nice title. Says Back to the Future 4 trailer is on YouTube. Yeah, but it's not legit, right? It's gonna be one of those fake trailers that fans make. Surely there's not actually. Wait, what? Oh no, wait, it is a fan trailer. Phew. Oh, you had me scared for a second there. I thought I'd fucking fallen off the planet. Thank you. Yeah. For the $2. The real thing. We're not really getting a Tom Holland Back to the Future, are we? I really, 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 really hope not. I would go crazy if that's true. All right. I'm just going to continue for now because I can't find anything that actually proves that it's real. They're all just concept trailers. But if there is a real trailer, I guess share it with me and I'll commit fucking seppuku right here on stream. Anyway, it looks like Legend of Zelda movie won't be a one and done adventure after all. It turns out there is in fact going to be a trilogy. Just days after Nintendo revealed the March 26, 27 release date for the upcoming live action Legend of Zelda movie. Well, at least we've got a couple of years. New rumors suggest it could be the start of a full-blown trilogy. According to Video Game Chronicle, industry insider Daniel Reitman claims that, yeah, I think so. The movie is just one part of a planned 6-year cinematic journey. That's right. So I'm a bit skeptical of this, and I'm very bothered by the fact that it exists in the first place, because I really, really, really do not want a Zelda movie at all, if I can avoid it. I just don't think you can get it right. I just don't. I mean, look at Link, right? This is Link. Who looks like that? Like, no one. It's Link. That's Link. That's his fucking face. I've got fucking look. That's Link. There he is. Boom. Ha ha ha. Hello. Put it back on the shelf, buddy. And I just don't believe for a second that you're going to be able to cast this. I don't think you can write this. How do you write a character who never speaks, who communicates entirely through sounds? even with the voiceover that they have in the modern ones now, Sydney Sweeney looks like that. Okay, Sydney Sweeney to play Link. All right, fuck it. Timothy Chalamet with blue lenses. Oh, God. I swear if they cast Timothy Chalamet, I will go nuts. The entire character of Link is supposed to be just a vessel. What's he going to say? Are we going to get excuse me, princess again? Or are we going to get, a minimalist, an actor? Because this is the thing. It's like casting the Mandalorian. It's like, okay, you've got to do this entire show without ever showing your face. But I'm an actor. How are you supposed to see me acting if you can't see my face? Oh, well, I guess we'll have him take a helmet off. Okay, so you're going to have to play Link. Congratulations, you're playing Link. You're going to be playing a movie where the main character doesn't speak ever, communicates entirely through fucking actions. But I'm an actor. How am I supposed to act if I can't speak? I don't know. Watch some Marcel Marceau and figure it out. In fact, it'd probably be easier than The Mandalorian, but I don't think they'll do it. The guy's going to have to talk, which means you're going to be assigning language to Link that has never been assigned before. And again, the last time that was done, the result was, excuse me, princess. So fucking trash. Harpo Marx, there's another one. Give him a little horn. Anyway, according to a production list, a film and television production tracking service, The Legend of Zelda movie will apparently be shot in New Zealand between the 4th of November 2025 and the 7th of April 2026. New Zealand's movie industry, as you might know, was behind Peter Jackson's movie trilogy, Lord of the Rings. Same website was also published a basic project summary of the Zelda movie, describing how a young warrior named Link must embark on a journey to protect Hyrule from Ganon, who seeks a Triforce which can grant limitless power. But which one is it? Which era is it? Which Link is going to be facing which Ganon? I mean, they are all technically the same Ganon, but which iteration is it? Which one are they going to base it on? They're all very stylistically different. If they want to be really, really sensible, then the best one to start with would probably be Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, which is the most direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. I mean, I hope it works out. I know they did well with the Mario movie. I just don't feel like you can do Zelda. Adding to this is an update from Daniel Reichman, known for movie news and scoops, who says the casting for Link, Zelda, Ganon, and Impa has already been decided. So fuck me then, I guess. It's way too late for me. With other roles expected to be finalized by August this year. And here's perhaps the most interesting part. The same source claims the main actors have been locked in to shoot 3 movies over the space of 6 years. Keep in mind, though, none of this has been officially confirmed, so it's all just a rumor for now. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there you go. But again, it just doesn't feel right. It just does not feel right to me. It feels like a doomed project. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. And there's a part of me that thinks that I will be wrong, because Nintendo has done a great job with the Mario franchise, and it wasn't that much of a jarring experience to see Mario suddenly stop going Yahoo, weehee, woohoo, and turn into Chris Pratt. But I don't know. I don't know how you do it with Link, because it's very different when you've got a silent protagonist. I think we're going to get leaks well ahead of schedule with this one. And they'll either doom it or save it. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, for now, we'll move past that, I suppose. All right, what should we talk about? Let's talk about a bit of Nintendo, because there's been a fair amount of craziness going on with Nintendo over the last couple of days. So obviously the big news from the underwhelming Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, apart from the games that were announced being, open world Mario Kart, which is an okay idea. I wonder how it's going to be in execution. I've seen a bit of gameplay now, but you know, it really was only the knockout mode. Driving between tracks, that sounds a bit sketchy. That sounds like you're sort of crowbarring in the empty filler content in between interesting things happening, you know, Ubisoft style, to pad out the runtime. The Donkey Kong game, some people thought it looked amazing. Personally, I thought it looked kind of silly. And of course, then there's the pricing. And you can make any argument you want, as we pointed out on WTF Live a few hours ago. You can make any argument whatsoever, if you feel like it, that you can make any argument you want that it's worth it. That but it ultimately, inflation is not an excuse. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Inflation is not an excuse to boost the prices of games this much. For starters, the actual inflated price differential between the Switch 1 in 2017 being $299 and now would be about an extra $80, not $150. Okay, you're looking at a console that would cost like $390, not $450. You can argue that the technology is more complicated, yes, but the price of technology drops over time in order to keep up with the times. It gets cheaper to mass produce technology as the spike of quality of that technology becomes more commonplace. But Nintendo is not in the habit of dropping their prices ever. And then, of course, we get the $80 digital, $90 physical story about the games. Mario Kart, $90 for a physical copy, which may or may not actually have the game on the cartridge. You might just be buying a fucking physical key to a digital game. Which again brings back the same argument that felted Ubisoft a year ago when they started saying, well, you have to get more comfortable with the idea that you don't really own your games. And yeah, you know, you can be a smug wanker and say, well, technically that's no different than Steam. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You can say that. But you know, Steam doesn't charge full price forever for games. If I can get a game on license that costs me the same as it would to rent it from Blockbuster, that's a much better deal, I think. And of course, Steam has also said that were anything ever to happen to that company, they would make damn sure you still had access to your games. That's their pledge. Nintendo's made no such pledge. By the way, I have to preface this, as I do with everything, by saying I am a career Nintendo kid. All right. It was the first thing I ever played the first game I ever owned was on the Game Boy. I was a Mario guy first before I was a Sonic guy. I've been playing Nintendo since the NES. So, you know, better part of 40 years, Nintendo has been in my life. And I've been a very big fan. And I've seen them in their heyday, and I've seen them at their worst. I've seen them get felted. I've seen them bounce back. Now, if the cycle is to repeat itself the way it normally does, you've got, at this point for Nintendo, the NES and SNES successes, one after the other, is actually the freak. Because then you had the N64, which did okay. Then the GameCube, that really didn't do very well at all. Then the Wii, that absolutely smashed it. Sell millions and millions and millions of copies to people's grandmothers. But that's neither here nor there. Then the Wii U, which nobody really understood. And so that completely bombed. Worst bomb they'd had since the Virtual Boy. And then you got the Switch. Comes back, is the thing that the Wii U was supposed to be, looks a bit more grown up than the general sort of look of a Nintendo console, and sells gangbusters. One of the best ever selling consoles. So they're about due for a flop again. N64 up, GameCube down. Wii up, Wii U down. Switch up. But, you know, I can only speculate. Maybe it's the deal, you know, breaker. Maybe it's the exception that proves the rule. But at this rate, with this bad press, it's not looking very likely for Nintendo that they will actually be able to bounce back. Because, and again, you can make all the excuses you want. You can say, well, Steam, blah, 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 whatever. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You can say, well, I mean, everything costs more now and inflation, blah, 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 blah. Nintendo fanboys will buy it anyway. Yeah, but there's an entire generation of kids that never played a Nintendo until they got the Switch. If maybe they're still dependent on their parents to pay for it, and their parents are still feeling the hit of Bidenflation. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Maybe it won't happen. I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. But in the current era, the current paradigm, the current climate of gaming, where everyone is fucking pissed at the games industry, and Gamergate 2 is destroying it little by little, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going nowhere, because they are pricing themselves out of a lot of people's market. I mean, $450 for a console is not the worst news we've ever had. Of course, an unproven console that hasn't got any real killer game. I mean, Mario Kart, sure. But not that many people are going to get that much mileage out of Mario Kart for that long. Donkey Kong, yeah, they've had some resurgence in recent years. But as a franchise, Donkey Kong is like C tier. Metroid Prime, sure, that's definitely going to have its fans. It's definitely going to have its hardcore fan base that will turn up for it. But even that is not a mainline. It doesn't feel like top tier golden first seed Nintendo franchise anymore, because they've done bugger all with it for like a decade. So I don't know. It's anyone's guess at this point. For me, I don't see anything here that's worth opening my wallet for. I don't. I've got Steam. I can run plenty of games. If I want to play GameCube games, I know I can do that without getting out of this chair. And if that's how it will have to be, then that's the way it will be. At the end of the day, if you want to stop piracy, you have to make the audience a deal they can't refuse. Something that, for a nominal fee, makes their life way more convenient. This doesn't. What do you get? What do you have to do to get the GameCube games that they've announced? Well, you have to buy the console. Then you have to subscribe for Nintendo Switch Online, which, yeah, is not that expensive. But then you have to upgrade it to more than double the price for the expansion pack. And yeah, again, it's only like $50 a year, which is a pretty good deal, I suppose. It's a shame these things have to exist the way they do, but it shouldn't really be behind a paywall at all. If Nintendo really want to be the good guys, they make their entire library available for a nominal fee. You can do it either iTunes style, 99 cents a game for NES, maybe $2 a game for Super Nintendo, maybe $4 a game for N64, and $6, $7, $8 for a GameCube game or something. If you really want to, and you could nickel and dime people that way. It'd probably make more money, but at least people would know they own what they own. And there you go, you know. It's not good to dangle it. And gamers are now more sensitive than ever to the idea that we don't own anything anymore. And it's even more insulting when the game you are trying to play on your Switch is behind you on a shelf. So there's that too. Eris Roda's gifted one Will of the Fans membership. Somebody's lucky. And good for you. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. And boy, we need to fill up that bar. I want to be gaming all weekend. Help me out. And so here we are. We're at this point now where even beyond that, you're expected to pay $90 at Nintendo's discretion, because clearly they don't have to do that. This game here, the Donkey Kong one, is 70 or 80. Mario Kart is 80 or 90. They're making up the prices as they fucking go along, and they are doing it because they know they can get away with it. You have to show them that they can't get away with it. If you want to sell video games, you have to sell them at a price that is reasonable. And, you know, I remember a lot of people going a bit fucking nuts when games went from $60 to $70. And fair enough. Because the games that come out these days are not as good as the games that came out in the days of the NES, the days of the SNES. Remember, Nintendo Hard used to be a thing. It was like, damn, man, those Nintendo games are fucking great, but damn, are they hard. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden for a year and I still haven't finished it. That kind of thing. They had a hotline, for Christ's sakes. And we all called the hotline. But, you know, that was then. And now it's like, well, do you want to pay $90 for a wishy-washy, simplified, all too easy collectathon? Not really. No, not really. Not that interested. I'd rather play one of the 100 games that I have in the backlog on Steam that I haven't played yet, that people gifted me, or that I bought myself on a sale, 80% off. Hell, I picked up all the Fallout games when the TV series came out on Steam for $10. All of them. Literally all of them. Even like Tactics. The games are old. They're not going to sell individually anymore. Bundle them together. Make them an offer you can't refuse. And people won't refuse. This, on the other hand, is an offer I can very easily refuse. Yes, inflation is a thing. That doesn't mean that people's paychecks have inflated. To just pin it on inflation and act like you're, you know, being immature or spoiled if you don't like it, that's bullshit. People are struggling at the moment. It's not been that easy. It's been rough. There are people out there trying to sabotage your ability to even enjoy your life. Stenrocks 9.99 says, "Get your game on, Will." Thank you very much for that. Have some anime boost.
Drop it.
Legend. Absolute legend. Appreciate you for that, man. Out of nowhere, too. Anyway, thanks for being here, and thank you for the super. And it all goes to help, of course. So, yeah, the price increase also means Nintendo Switch 2 games will cost €80 for a digital copy in Europe, while physicals will be €90. Hang on. What is the exchange rate of dollars to euros? $1 is 90 euro cents. All right, so you're actually charging even more in Europe. Lovely. Thank you so much. We do adore you so. Not that it bothers me. I live in the Philippines, but whatever. Honestly, there'll be an emulator of this as soon as it comes out. There will, because why not? So the announcement of $80 digital video games for the Nintendo Switch 2 can be found on the official Nintendo website. It's worth mentioning that Donkey Kong Bonanza is being priced at $70. That seems to suggest it will continue to be a game-by-game basis. So again, Nintendo is just making this up as they go along. I don't know if you can hear that. My cat is meowing. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Cat was trying to get in. That's no good. I can't have that right now. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of outrageous. It really is. And there's nothing wrong with saying it. Nintendo's supposed to be, well, supposed to be. Nintendo have built up a reputation as a constant in gaming. You know, there's always you've always got your old pals Nintendo. You know, they're a constant. They're pro gamer. We like gamers. We want to support gamers' right to play games. Yay! For $90. Boo! You know, it's horseshit, and that's sometimes even without tax. Yeah, as Zalosi points out. Yeah, maybe you're going to end up paying over $100 for a game. It's not fucking right. It's too much of an increase. People aren't stupid. They know that price of gas has gone up, price of eggs has gone up, cost of living has gone up, right? The proportion to which Nintendo's prices have increased here is vastly more than that. So people are pissed. They are fucking pissed. And absolutely right. Absolutely right. Indeed. And we can see, actually, because we just had the Nintendo Treehouse that happened, 6 hours ago? Something like that. And I don't know if you watched it. I took in about half an hour of it during the Mario Kart knockout tournament part of it. And yeah, the game looks fine. Looks fun. Looks a lot like Mario Kart 8. And then every fucking comment, apart from a few trolls who were saying the opposite, was saying, drop the price. Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. In chat, in caps. I can show you. Look, here's a short of it. Whoops, it's not loading. Wonderful. That's what I get. That's what I get. I get fucking melted. What is this shit? What the fuck are you doing? Ow. All right, let me get that working again. What happened? Stupid fucking YouTube. You know what I can do instead? I'll show you my own video. I've got my own video of it. Hold on a moment. All right. Here's a clip that I took myself when it was live. And you need to be paying attention to the chat. It just literally says drop the price.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about this mode. This is my favorite edition.
Drop the price. Drop the price. Drop the price. Lower the price. Drop the price. We don't care. Lower the price. Drop the price. Zelda, when? Drop the price. Drop the price.
We're gonna go to Golden.
Tariff. Drop the price. 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 Drop the price.
Oh yeah, which one is it?
Drop the price. 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 Fucking hell.
To the ice.
Oh, ice
Hundreds of
rally.
them. Drop the price. Drop the price. And this is just me trying to catch up with it, by
All
the
right,
way.
so as Corey had mentioned, Knockout Tour is
Drop the price,
24
drop the price,
players.
drop the price, drop the price,
We
drop
have
the price,
2
drop the
human
price, drop the
players.
price.
Everything else will be comms. But
Fucking hell.
as the
Someone put
mode
Biden's
mentions,
America.
you'll be
Get down to the
knocking
bottom,
players out
and then
at
you
each
can
checkpoint.
see it live as
But
well
what's
for a
really
few seconds.
fascinating about this mode is
There
that
it is.
all of these
Drop the price, drop the price, drop
forces
the
are
price.
interconnected.
Drop the price.
So you're going to go from one
Drop
to
the price.
the other.
Drop the price. Drop the price.
So right
drop the
now we're in
price.
segment 1. So all these players
And this was
will
a
need to
relatively
place at
tame
20th
moment.
or better to make it to the next segment.
You can see the
No
checkered
one
flag in
cares
the
what
lower
they're
right. That
actually talking
indicates
about.
which segment you're on.
Like, no one was commenting on the gameplay at all. It was all just people saying, drop the price, drop the price. It's fucking hilarious. Raging D-Head's here for $2. Hello and thank you. Says, celebrate the glory of me being gainfully employed. Congratulations and thank you for sharing the wealth. Yeah. Always good. Always good. Just what you want. So yeah, there you go. I mean, you just look at that, right? You go, I'm pretty sure now you can't watch the chat replay. If you go back to watch it now, you're going to get comment section only. I don't think there's a chat replay available because it is just that. I mean, I went away. I got myself a sandwich. I came back to my computer, clicked on it again. It was 20 minutes later. It was still going. Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. Fucking unreal. It's a thing, guys. It's a real thing. And here's the problem. Gamers are very good at voicing their outrage for about 5 minutes. And then they just sort of go, oh, well. No, stop it. This is what Gamergate has been. It's been a consistent and concerted effort by each and every one of us to encourage each other to keep this shit up. Do not stop telling Nintendo to go fuck themselves for this. I hate having to say that. I love Nintendo. They've been in my, like I said, in my life since I was a small child, like 4 years old. And I don't want to have to say this, but they're taking the piss out of me. They're taking the piss out of you. So it needs to be a thing where not only do we never let up with that, drop the price, but at the same time, we also don't buy it. I'm fucking pissed off, you know, because I spent the last month and a half or so doing like leak videos about the Switch 2, getting excited, an organized harassment campaign, some might say. Some might say that. You could call it a customer revolt, especially as there's no particular target, just a company. And yeah, I mean, I literally was making leak videos where I was talking about the specs that were leaked. By the way, completely, absolutely accurate, right down to the last detail. Those leaks were completely accurate. There was, in fact, nothing that we didn't know about the Switch 2 before they did their direct. There's nothing new about the machine itself. Just the machine itself, I was like 80%. I'm gonna save up or raid my savings a little and get one of these. Need to be part of that. Definitely want a Switch 2. Gonna have to, you know, rig up the capture card and all that stuff. And then I saw, you know, the first few minutes. Then I saw Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart World. And I was like 90% for a few minutes. I was like, this looks cool. This looks all right. This looks great. There's costume changes. Ooh, open world. Wow, that's different. For a moment, the Hypnotic took me over. And I was like, yeah. You can watch it. It was the last episode of HyperDrive time. I was like, this looks great. This looks great. This looks great. And then it was like, all right, the console, everything I already knew, nothing new there. Then it was like mediocre game, you know, remaster, mediocre game, up-res, re-release, up-res, remaster, re-release, Kirby Air Riders. What? Oh, a From Software game. Well, that's something, I suppose. But by that point, I didn't care. By that point, I was like, yay. And then it was like, okay, drop something big. Announce that you're putting out Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD remake, remaster, and you're bringing it away from the obscurity of the Wii U and putting it back on a major console. That I would have bought one immediately. Or Twilight Princess. Yeah, immediately. Especially Twilight Princess. They announced Elden Ring, yeah. A new version of Elden Ring. Tarnished edition. As if everyone hasn't already played Elden Ring. These are the games that didn't sell when the Switch launched, by the way. The ports of other games that had already been out for like a year or two. These are the games that no one bothered with. Special edition, Wii Switch version, Wii version. They've been doing this for years now, and no one cares. It's like Nintendo going, look, our console can run this too now. Okay, guys, but I've already beaten it. Well, don't you want this slightly different version? No, not really. No, we're not really fussed. Don't really give a shit. 90% of it will be exactly the same. What are you going to change? You're going to add like a new set of gear or slightly different control scheme, something like that? Not bothered. Not enough. Not enough to justify even $60 or $70 for a game. So no. And it went on and it went on and it went on. And then it was like, okay, guys, money shot time. Here comes the money shot. And I thought for a second, I thought we were going to get a new Smash game. Turned out to be Kirby Air Riders. All right. Wow, that'll put some butts in seats, won't it? And then after that, they followed it up with Donkey Kong Bonanza, which, yeah, there's an audience for that. Although the Donkey Kong model looks like the movie and acts like a Looney Tune. Although, you know, I mean, his eyes have bugged out before, so I guess that's fine. But I don't know. By then, it was just too little too late. You're giving us a C-list Nintendo franchise at launch. No new Mario. It's been how many years since Mario Odyssey now? When did that come out? 2017. Yeah. October 2017. Yeah, it was while I was living in the Philippines, actually. Just got here. Been here for like a few months at that point. And yeah, it was late, but it was good, you know. Maybe they'll do the same thing again. But is it worth spending $500 for a Mario game? Debatable. If it was like a brand new Zelda and it was back to, you know, the original format, and don't get me wrong, I love Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. They're great games, but they're not pure Zelda. And but you know, like I said, if they'd announced Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or even the 3DS versions of Ocarina and Majora's Mask coming in 1080p to the Switch, that would be enough. I'd be like, ooh, particularly Majora's Mask, because I haven't played that in a long time. I'd have been like, well, that's pretty damn cool. Although it wasn't enough to sell me a 3DS at launch, so. But they and that is another point there. Weston's right, yeah. They're actually making it cheaper in Japan. The non-region, the region-free version that has different languages on it is like $100 more expensive or something, or $150 more expensive than the Japan-only model. Which it does kind of sell the idea that this has got something to do with inflation right down the river. Super Mario Wonder, yeah. Super Mario Wonder was fun. It's just that I don't know what it is, but it's like with Zelda. Link's Awakening remaster, great game. Really fun. Very, very good upgraded version of an absolute classic. But it's not like a new mainline Zelda. Just like Wonder, it didn't feel like it was the sequel to Odyssey, you know. We had such high hopes. I remember watching Geeks and Gamers talking about this, and other people as well, and I was talking about the same things. I was going, oh, we may get you know, solid remasters of classics or something, or maybe even a new Mario. Galaxy 3 was an idea that was being bandied about, and that would have sold me the console straight away. Galaxy 3, fuck yes. Hell, Galaxy 2 being on a contemporary console would make it hard to resist, because you've got Galaxy 1 on Switch if you bought the 3D All-Stars pack, which I got for Christmas from my wife that year. And you know, so yeah, being able to play Galaxy again on an upgraded piece of kit was lovely. If we could do that again with Galaxy 2 or Galaxy 3, marvelous. But this is just underwhelming as fuck. Thank you, Raging D-Head. Appreciate you, man. Yeah! Somebody wants me to be playing some video games this weekend. No, I'm going to be playing a little bit anyway, because we've done quite well this week. This would be just to guarantee the icing on the cake. Now, if only we were paid enough to afford any of this bull crap, says Joe. Won't buy at that price, maxed out, so we'll just play on old games and systems. Microsoft might come back yet with these prices, buy Take-Two, and launch those games in Game Pass 2, and Game Pass is the best bet in gaming. You can't deny it anymore. Yeah. For the customer, it is, yeah. It's fucking terrible if you're trying to sell video games. It's a complete self-destruction. And we've got another one. Justin Davis is here for $5. Says, off topic, sorry, finished Suikoden 2 and jonesed for more, so I bought Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. You going to Suikoden 2 later? Yes, that is the plan. Probably, where are we at now? Like it's 8:20, so probably this evening, my time. It's early morning, my time right now. So yeah, probably this evening. Maybe this afternoon. Depends on what I end up having to do for the wife and stuff. But yes, there will be Suikoden, and it will be this weekend. I need to get through that game because there's plenty of other things I need to be playing as well. Thank you. And if you like Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, it is literally just the prequel to Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. So make sure you get on that as well. Although I will point out that the localization on Eiyuden Chronicles can be a bit annoying. There's random characters, main characters, who talk like it's modern day, while everyone else talks like they do in Suikoden in the sort of classical, older English style, which can be a bit jarring, but the gameplay is fucking excellent in Eiyuden Chronicle. And it's because of that we got Suikoden Remaster, so yeah. I'll definitely be checking that out. But there you go. Once again, here we go.
That's one of the things I love about this.
Price.
This is
Drop
my
the price.
favorite
Drop the
edition,
tariff. Drop the price. You should drop the
every
price.
single
Drop the
match I've
price.
played of
Drop
this
the price.
because there's so much very.
Need I say more? Fucking horrendous. And there you go. All right, we got a couple of little quick things I want to talk about before we press on. Sweet Baby Inc. appears to have been kicked to the curb by Sony, according to Gothic Therapy, who've got a video you can watch about it. But it does appear that maybe, just maybe, some of the bigger companies are starting to realize how much money they have truly lost in this DEI crusade. Talking about Sweet Baby Inc., they said they've proudly boasted about centering marginalized voices, but gamers have repeatedly pointed out that what they're really doing is homogenizing content, guiding it of risk, edge, or authenticity in favor of bland moral lectures and identity checklists. Kim Belair even told a story about starting Sweet Baby Inc. because she was upset that gamers had a choice in their protagonist in Mass Effect 2, and she wanted everyone to have to play as her. That is some fucking narcissism right there. The general idea was, holy moly, representation is cool. No, it's not. I didn't need to feel represented when I was a kid, and I don't need to feel represented now. But I sure as fuck don't want me and my type of human being being eliminated in favor of someone else's representation either. If it's native to the story, I'll play as fucking anything. A blob, a ninja turtle, a supersonic anthropomorphized blue hedgehog, a plumber who can jump 5 times his own height. At least. I'll play as fucking anything if the set of circumstances is right. But if you are going to tell me that I don't matter and someone else does because of the color of my skin, well, first of all, you're a fucking racist. And secondly, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that wokeness doesn't mean anything about being aware of oppression or systems of injustice, and everything to do with cultural Marxism. It is, in essence, converting identity groups into classes, hierarchical classes, based on arbitrarily assigned victim points. It's cultural Marxism. That is what woke means. Don't let anyone tell you any fucking different. I thought about this for 5 years before I ever said that definition, because I know it's right. That is the net result of it and the reason for it. So Kim Belair can kiss my ass if she thinks that I give a fuck what she thinks about video games. In my Mass Effect experience, fuck your experience. This is almost an accidental form of representation because it's something that's a possibility. It's not guaranteed for any player depending on the kind of character. What? And the Commander Shepard you make. So I thought it wouldn't be amazing. Wouldn't it be amazing if this wasn't an accident, but was actually the intention of the game designers to force you to play as someone who looks like Kim Belair, which of course we have seen with various Sweet Baby Inc. games, multiple characters who sort of resemble Kim Belair. It's cringe. We saw it. I can't think what the fucking game was called. There was some cartoonish looking thing that came out years ago, and there was a character that looked exactly like Kim Belair. Then, of course, you have Black Norse God in God of War, which would never happen because most of those people had never seen a black person before. It's just cringe, like right up to the puffy hair and the side parting. Eris Roda's gifted 5 Will of the Fans memberships, you fucking legend.
There's one thing you better know, and that is I love all of y'all. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
Daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, it just don't come around.
Let's get some subs! This narrative first controlling forced diversity approach has become a lightning rod for criticism, especially as games under their influence repeatedly underperform, get mocked, or fail to resonate with audiences. Turned into Gamergate 2, of course. Then, of course, we saw it with God of War, Sable, After Love, Battle Shapers, Crew Motorfest, Suicide Squad. This backlash has evolved into what many now call Gamergate 2. Not a revival of the original controversy, but a broader cultural pushback against activist consulting firms, DEI mandates, and corporate interference in creative storytelling. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Street Baby Inc. were the principal targets of this movement. Of course they were. They were the most prolific of all these DEI companies that insist that they're not DEI companies, but they fucking are. Justin Davis for 5 says, equality is great. It's about the same chances for all. Right? Equity sucks because it guarantees the outcome based on whatever standards they want. Exactly. Yes. The difference between equality and equity is one is about opportunity and the other is about outcome. Equality is giving everyone the same opportunity to excel. If you succeed or fail is entirely based on you. There's another name for this, by the way. It's called natural selection. And it is the way that the world is designed by whatever you believe, God or nature. Doesn't really matter to me which you choose to subscribe to. Whereas equity is no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, everyone will achieve the same. And there's another name for that too. It's called communism. It's fucking cringe. It needs to be rejected in all its forms. And people need to wake up and realize this. And so when someone tells you to define woke, because that was a thing I remember about 2 years ago, suddenly there was this big push for like news pundits, anchors. I remember Matt Walsh from Daily Wire was like grilled on this as well. There were people going, well, what does woke even mean? And oh man, watching these people that are fucking intelligent, articulate, erudite, educated people stumbling to define it was so annoying. I wrote like 5,000 words on wokeness that I thought I would make into a video at one point, but never had time. So in the end, I just took all of that and boiled it down to a simple definition. Cultural Marxism, identity as class. That's it. That's all it is. That's woke. It once meant awareness of systems of oppression, but that was 100 years ago. Now it is a pastiche of that. It's a parody. It's a mockery of it. It's an artificial creation of injustice in order for you to have a problem to fix, to justify your own worthless grift in existence. And make no mistake, the day it dies is the day I go back to making content about things I like. Genuinely, I'd like to be doing that. That would be nice. But anyway. Thank you again, Justin Davis. Appreciate you. I was thinking we were going to have a slow day, but the bar is actually filling up. Not that far from the... Where are we at? 61%. Pretty good. All right. Let's see if we can get the rest of the way as we continue. So, according to the Gothic Therapy Insider, one of the projects that Sony has cancelled was supposedly a follow-up to God of War Ragnarok. That's right, Sweet Baby Inc. You fucked up so badly, you may have cancelled a flagship Sony sequel. You fucking morons. The source did not confirm whether it was DLC, a spin-off, or a full sequel focused on Atreus. Only that it had Sweet Baby Inc. attached and that Sony may have pulled the plug. There's Angrboda, by the way. A Norse god. Yeah. Anyway, this is significant not only because of the franchise's importance to Sony, but because Sweet Baby Inc. had already publicly acknowledged involvement in Ragnarok. Yes, they did. They advertised it before they had to take down all their fucking advertisements for the companies that they were working with. If the sequel was similarly influenced, its cancellation would be a major blow and possibly a clear sign that Sony no longer sees narrative consulting from activist firms as a value add. Oh, no. Well, we have covered on another episode of this show, or was it? Maybe it was WTF Live. That there is clearly a war between East and West going on within Sony. They moved their headquarters for ski to California from Japan. And immediately we started seeing the difference. We had censored anime games. We had all this cringe everywhere. You had social media managers and community managers and higher ups at Sony wanking on about DEI, which, by the way, only means division, exclusion, and isolation. Just in case you want to borrow that when someone's asking you about it. Division, exclusion, isolation. The true DEI. Raging D Head for $2 says, can't wait for the new season of South Park. Have they announced the new season? I thought they were still tied into a lawsuit with Paramount and Netflix or whatever it is. That would be great. I mean, I'd love nothing more than to see South Park. Now that it's culturally acceptable to shit on DEI, I'd love to see what they get away with this time. It won't just be put a tick in it, make it lame and gay. It'll be, fuck DEI, I would imagine. There's no way those guys are for DEI. They might be for a lot of liberal ideas, but they ain't for that. Liberal is different from woke. Anyway. Appreciate you, Raging D-Head. SBI's involvement in God of War led to race-swapped religious figures from Norse pagan mythology and a whole lot of Kratos sitting around reflecting on his toxic behavior. Yeah. Problem is, we kind of saw that begin with God of War 2018, but it was done in a way that was a little classy. Like, you did kind of end the world in ancient Greece, Kratos. Maybe a little repentance isn't the worst thing in the world. I know I said repent. Haha. But yeah, this is not the same thing. Sitting around dragging your ass over hot coals because of stuff you've done before when you've already tried to make up for it. It's like, when's enough? When is enough? Who actually knows? Anyway, yeah, we so there's a preview apparently according to Raging D Head. Okay. I might check that out in a minute. I'd like to see that. Thank you. Yeah. And of course, where is it? There is a picture in one of these articles that completely illustrates my point. I'm just trying to find it. There we go. Yeah. Usual Jane. That was the game. That was the game that had Kim Belair's complete 100% self-insert as a playable character. I'm just waiting for the image to load. Here you go. Literally right there. Look at this. Look at this fucking character. Who is that? I mean, who is it? You know exactly who that fucking is. There's only one person it could be. There's only one person that fucking narcissistic. Kim Belair, baby. Kim Bell fucking end. Alrighty. Justin Davis is back for another 5. Says DEI equals didn't earn it. That's a good one too. I like that. As a meme answer, that's really good. But I like to sort of crack through that stuff and get to a working definition that you can use when you're not joking. So that's why instead of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I go for division, exclusion, and isolation, because that's actually what the result is. But yeah, didn't earn it, and Doge Democrats officially getting exposed. That one's great. That's quite new. I saw that recently on X. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. Alrighty then. I am going to try and find this South Park preview. Let's have a look and see if I can find it. Season 27 teaser. That one day ago from Rotten Tomatoes TV. All right. Well, I guess we'll have a look anyway. Hold on. It's only a minute long. Hopefully I won't get claimed for it, but oh well. You know what? Fuck it. Doesn't matter. You guys support me enough anyway. Here we go. Huh? Times have changed, as in blame Canada. It is.
Shelly, have you been taking ketamine? Because I think it could really help you.
Is that Diddy? Oh, mate. Diddy 345. Ah.
We're all gonna get fired!
Moses?
Where are you going?
It's okay, Sharon. I'm just gonna do some ketamine and fuck around with the government a little. See ya!
Oh. Wow. All right. That was fucking great. That's brilliant. Have you been taking ketamine? Because I think it could really help you. I don't understand what the ketamine thing is. Like, that's like people have been doing that forever. But I guess it's back in the news, maybe. Damn, that's quite the sign. Planes crashing into each other. I suppose that would be DEI hiring of airlines completely fucking themselves. This is interesting. So they're on the planet with Starvin Marvin. Jesus. Yeah, that's Starvin Marvin. And they're all being either chased or assisting Diddy. Oh no. That looks really interesting. We're all gonna get fired. So we've got Canada's back. Why is Moses there? There was something else what was that? The shot with all the toilets are full of shit. Everything's just covered in shit. And there's a wait, is this meant to be like Diddy's house or something? Because there's like Grammys or something on the wall. I don't know. Wow, that looks really interesting. When's it out? July 9th. All right. Well, fucking hell. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, man. I had no idea. When did that come out? How long ago did that release? Oh, literally yesterday. Okay, right. Well, I don't feel so bad then. There's only so much news I can keep up with. So there you go. All right. Let's have a look at something else then, because I wanted to see yesterday on WTF Live, we went ahead and we were looking at this investor revolt that's happening thanks to Ubisoft completely screwing over all their investors. And now there seems to be an open rebellion that's happening where, if you recall, we talked about WTF Live, the investors, particularly AJ, the guys who were trying to stage a revolution in investing in Ubisoft, basically telling Ubi that they need to renegotiate their deal to restructure and create a subsidiary in partnership with Tencent for €1 billion, and instead just outright sell their IP to Tencent for €4 billion rather than €1 billion. Because if the deal as it exists goes through, then every investor, including all of the employees who have stock options, is going to get felted. They are literally going to lose everything, because the company that they invested in is not the subsidiary, but the parent company, and the parent company will go bankrupt. So in order to actually do right by their investors, they should have to sell their fucking IPs, make back enough money to match the valuation of the company as it was, and pay their investors. But they don't want to do that. They want to pivot, create a subsidiary, hide their IP safely there while they go bankrupt, and the subsidiary survives. And investors all just lose their money. So, yeah, there's no real argument here. There's nothing controversial here. You fuckers pay your investors or get sued. But whatever. So we had our reaction to that, but I'm interested to see what my colleague Smash JT thinks. So let's have a watch of this as we go ahead. And just out of interest, how close are we to the... Oh, well, bloody hell. Not that much to go. All right, let's have a look.
Ubisoft is completely falling apart, but there's nothing really about that statement that should be surprising to anybody that's been paying any lick of attention to anything that's been happening right now when it comes to...
It's higher than that, but it never got higher than 64,000. US regs will not allow this to happen. Yeah, this is what I'm hearing. That they are going to have to answer to the Chinese government, who will, of course, support it, the Canadian government, who will, of course, support it, and the US government, who very likely will not. Otherwise, they are not going to be able to do it. So hopefully it will fall flat and they'll be forced to sell and then get felted as they deserve.
Anything Ubisoft. Damn, that's a lot of anythings. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT.
Chair JT.
Investors are pissed at this Tencent deal, pissed enough to start fighting back and demanding action from Ubisoft proper to change the terms of the deal or risk it falling completely apart.
I mean, yeah, that is correct, because it doesn't seem very likely that if there's any fucking justice in this world, and to be fair, there isn't a lot, because palms can be greased quite easily, that this will not be allowed to go ahead, because it's cheating. This is what I would call like just straight up cheating. You lost. You gambled and lost. You deserve to lose all your money. All right? And the innocent people who have supported your company deserve to get paid, because you fucked up. Whereas in the current paradigm, as John was pointing out, Tencent can work with Ubisoft to allow the Gilmos, DEI obsessed fuckers that they are, to continue to implode their entire company. And every time they get fucked over, Tencent just buys in a little more until they own the company. That will be the actual result. It's like, I don't know, it's literally like buying a football team or something and then installing the most incompetent people to run it possible so that you can slowly buy more and more and more of that. Anyway,
the investors aren't happy with Ubisoft, and things don't look really good for the underhanded actions of the Guillemonts this point in time.
why can he not pronounce Gilmo? I don't understand.
Where they thought they got away scot-free with this deal, and the investors are like, no.
Yeah, like Man United, which is actually my dad's team and thus mine.
No, not so fast. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down the investors demanding Ubisoft renegotiate the Tencent deal. And this information comes to us from Insider Gaming that got access to an exclusive press.
Insider Gaming is a difficult website. I mean, I was literally touting that website as one of the greatest things around at the moment, when literally the next sentence called YouTubers grifters. So I was like, okay, well, fuck you then. But everyone seems to be using it at the moment, and they are one of the best news sources out there, assuming you don't want to use Fandom Pulse, because of course Fandom Pulse is just thinly veiled zealotry. So Insider Gaming is one of the better options, but you do need to understand that they are just as likely to throw you under the bus as float your ideas.
Press release from an investor group, AJ Investments, that sent it out to their stakeholders saying, we're not happy about this, and here's our plan of action.
not that they're not
Ubisoft is on the
happy.
verge of complete collapse.
They're fucking furious. They're massively furious.
It's not that that's really any news to anyone these days, but the latest investor backlash coming through with the info from Insider Gaming may actually be the final blow to Ubisoft. In a bombshell open letter discovered coming from minority shareholders AJ Investments, backed by a growing coalition of angry investors.
This should not come as any surprise. People are not any more willing in this day and age to fuck around with their money than they've ever been. And if someone, exactly, Jeremiah Maxwell in chat, if you fuck around with somebody else's money, you can expect to get punched in the face. At least. And I guarantee there are a whole bunch of investors in Ubisoft who would wring Yves Guillemot's fucking neck if they got hold of him.
Investors, we have a demand letter that's been put together saying that basically Ubisoft needs to renegotiate this controversial deal with Tencent and hold an extraordinary general meeting, also known as an EGM in the world of...
Yeah, that was it. They did an extraordinary, it used to be an emergency general meeting. That is never a good sign when you have to do an emergency general meeting to talk about the fucking stocks. I mean, it's like I always say, if it walks like a woke and quacks like a woke, you know, but if it walks like a fucking felt and quacks like a felt, it's a felt. There ain't no question. James up for $2 says, who could have seen this coming? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, James up is pretty switched on when it comes to this stuff, and I appreciate you for that, buddy. Guys, support gamergate2.org. James up is doing God's work over there, making sure the truth is preserved. Yeah. Always support gamergate2.org.
Investments trying to get everything back on course, where investors are aligned with the people running Ubisoft to make sure that everybody's happy. The message is loud and clear to everybody. Shareholders are pissed. They've had enough of the secretive backroom deals that are eroding the trust and tanking the company's value. They've wised up to the Guillemot family owning Ubisoft.
Guillemot? There's no N. Oh, dude. Smash, I love you, man, but that's not how you pronounce it.
Ubisoft taking full advantage of every single
It's
investment
Guillemot. You don't pronounce T's in French at the ends of words.
with this deal. It's not like this was going to actually go through and work and nobody would say anything, because that wouldn't make any sense. The core of the outrage stems directly from Ubisoft's recent decision to transfer 3 of its most valuable franchises, Assassin's Creed,
So this
Far
is the
Cry,
really shady
and
part.
Rainbow Six Siege, into the newly created
Jesus Christ. So yeah, that is of course the that's the pivot. That's the dirty little play that they've done. You create a situation where you've got a new subsidiary, safe and independent, in part owned by an external body. You then take the all of the profitable parts of the company that exists, and you stick it in the subsidiary where it will be safe from the felting. But then that renders Ubisoft absolutely without anything profitable, and then it goes completely under the bus. Yes, I know you don't want to speak French, but you know, you'll have to speak Spanish. The British equivalent is being able to speak French. That's what we learn in schools.
subsidiary, only to sell 25% of that entity to Tencent for $1.16 billion. And I talked about this in a previous live stream, how I thought that was odd, because valuation of 1.16 billion being 25%, 4 quarters make $1, 4 times 1.16. I mean, we're getting over almost $4.5 billion worth of valuation out of Ubisoft with this deal.
Yeah.
And I take a step back from that and like, Ubisoft being worth more than $4 billion, something ain't right here. Ubisoft stock has plummeted 24% since
that was the valuation before. It's not now, but that's what they want it to be valued at so that they can get fucking paid. And to be fair, Tencent would be able to do that in a heartbeat.
That announcement, and that is a sign of the market being completely in unison, totally rejecting the plan that Ubisoft had moving forward. Investors are calling it what it is, a straight up shady maneuver designed to entrench control by the Guillemot family, who now holds less than 10% of the company's economic interest, while at the same time avoiding those pesky mandatory.
This man, okay, this man on screen, Yves Guillemot, is one of the worst motherfuckers in gaming and has been for a very, very, very long time. Even if you just said garbage, even if you go back to E3s of the past and you watch like Aisha Tyler coming out and talking to the audiences on behalf of Ubisoft, she had a way of hyping things up that made it sound, fake corporate bullshit, but kind of exciting too. And then Eve comes out and would like to introduce you to our new game. Blah, 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 mon Dieu. Existentialism. You know, and the whole thing would fall flat. This man should never have been seen. He should never have been put on Front Street. Nobody should ever fucking listen to a goddamn word that comes out of this fucking snake's mouth. Okay? Honestly, he should be in the stocks getting pelted with Rotten Tomatoes.
Public offer rules, which in other words would be a power grab disguised as a partnership, and it is backfiring spectacularly. These investors who have a lot of money are not in.
It's fucking baffling, actually, when you consider that the Guillemot family began Ubisoft fucking 40 years ago. And they were making games like Prince of Persia, and they were doing all this stuff. And they were, at some point, they were on our side. And just, I mean, 40 years is a long time. But damn, man. Like, the amount of change, you know, that people can undergo and become just so fucking greedy, avaricious, and just filled with you know, that grasping, cloying, just clutching, sneaking, fucking devious bastardry that causes this kind of decision making. It really is horrifying to behold. And I just genuinely cannot stand this guy.
Idiots, and they see exactly what Yves Guillemot is trying to do here with Tencent, and then
Hey, well done. You actually got Eve right. I had a go at him for calling him Ives.
saying, whoa, we never really approved of what you're doing with this deal. Why are you
Yeah,
taking
money,
away
money,
our
money,
value and not giving us anything in return?
I could play that in a few minutes if we get there.
Per Insider Gaming, AJ Investments is demanding two major changes. One, renegotiate the Tencent deal. The transaction
Yeah.
must be structured into a direct asset sale to Tencent with no less than $4 billion. The
Yeah.
valuation already accepted by both Tencent and Ubisoft's board. At the moment, shareholders have no
Yeah, no, he wasn't the one at the helm. That's right.
clarity how the deal was.
Yeah. This is what needs to happen. You need to sell the fucking assets. Sell. You have lost. You have lost the right to continue to produce these things. And so you should get fucking felted. But they've managed to find this way to go, well, we won't actually sell them. We'll sort of move them so that they're partially owned for a little less money, and we can escape all this as the company goes bankrupt. The only people who stand to lose are, you know, all our shareholders and employees. Wow. Scum. True fucking scum. What's happened? Why is it not playing? I paused it too many times. Is that it, YouTube? You're going to be gay now? All right. All right. Well, that's fair enough, I suppose. Anyway, I need to wrap this fucker up anyway. But that is the situation. Ubisoft, it's just one of the all-time great embarrassments of gaming that's happening right now. And it really couldn't happen to a more deserving bunch of wankers, because they really have, like, they're not even smart enough to pull off these shady maneuvers in a way that people don't immediately notice and red flag. Yes, the unions will have a field day. Like when Activision does stuff like this, when EA does stuff like this, no one reports it. No one hears about it. Ubisoft are too dumb to be completely evil. You know what I mean? They're like, if EA and Activision are the Joker and Lex Luthor, Ubisoft is Professor Chaos. It's just like you keep trying to be evil, but you're too stupid. So it never actually works out. Anyway, there we go, guys. We got to what, 83% of the goal? That's not bad. Well, there we go. I need to wrap up though, and I'm sure you guys have other places to be. I will be back later with some videos for you guys, and I'm trying different times now for the videos because analytics has told me that my audience has changed. There's a lot more Americans in the audience now rather than just Brits. So welcome, by the way. So I'm putting videos out a little bit later in the day to try and ensure that people who want to watch them are awake. So let me know if that's working. A lot of people have been saying lately they're not getting notifications about videos or streams, which is fucking YouTube par for the course at this point. So do keep an eye on things. If you are interested and you want to watch these things, and believe me, the only way to make sure that you will get more of them is to watch them, then join the Discord or hit me up on X. Sometimes I just share these things via DM to a few choice people that are interested, and that's it. Other than that, I'll be back later with some Suikoden for you guys. Hopefully we'll have a good long stream tonight, and I'll be able to get through a significant chunk of that game. Thanks for sharing the link to the Discord in the chat. Oh, £2 from Eris Rhoda. Appreciate you. Says, cheers, man. Have a good one. Thank you very much. And you too. Yeah, this has been fun. We got a lot done, and that's great because it's hard to get a lot done in this day and age when there's so much bullshit to get through. So appreciate you. Yeah. And yes, you can follow me on X at Will of the Fans. Everything Will of the Fans. I might even start posting to the Facebook page again soon because I know a lot of people want to follow that. So we'll talk about that at some point in the future as well. For now, I'll leave you with the credits. Watch the space, and I'll be back before you know it. In the meantime, Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.